Assalamualaikum. Now I want to talk about Southeast Asian region, which is Vietnam. The capital of Vietnam is Hanoi, while Ho Chi Minh City is the country's largest city. For the introduction, I want to prove a little bit about the background of Vietnam. Vietnam has a long history of foreign colonialism, beginning with Chinese rule for centuries. In the 19th century, the country was colonized by France and later occupied by Japan during World War II. After independence, the country was involved in the Vietnam War between Communist North Vietnam and US-backed South Vietnam, which ended with the unification of the country under communists. After the war, Vietnam faced economic difficulties until it implemented the Doi Moi economic reform in 1986. In economic aspect, Vietnam's economy has grown rapidly since the Doi Moi policy was introduced in 1986, transforming the country from a closed communist system to a socialist-oriented market economy. The main sectors is manufacturing, electronics, textiles, agriculture, and tourism. The international trade, Vietnam is one of the world's leading exporters. It is also a member of ASEAN, the World Trade Organization (WTO), and has many free trade agreements. Next, cultural aspect. Vietnam has a rich culture rooted in Asian civilizations such as the Dong Son civilization. Vietnamese culture is also heavily influenced by China, as well as India, France, and neighboring Southeast Asian countries. The religion is Confucianism, Taoism, and Buddhism greatly influence people's lives. In addition, there is also the influence of folk religion, Christianity, and some Islam.
Next, I'm going to take you on a quick journey through the social aspects of Vietnam, a country that's rich in culture, deeply rooted in tradition, but also rapidly modernizing in exciting ways. First up, cultural values. In Vietnam, community always comes first. It's a very collective society where family and group harmony are more important than the individual. Although Vietnam is officially secular, you'll see many people practice a blend of Buddhism, Taoism, Confucianism, and ancestor worship. So yes, tradition is very much alive here. Next, let's talk about family, because in Vietnam, family is everything. It's common to have extended families living under one roof, so grandparents, parents, and kids all together. Elders are highly respected and they usually have a big say in important decisions like marriage or even career path. While traditional gender roles still exist, especially in rural areas, cities are starting to see more modern, balanced dynamic. Next, education is a big deal in Vietnam. It's seen as the main road to success, and the system is super competitive, especially in urban areas. Parents invest a lot in their children's education, from school to private tutoring, and it pays off because Vietnam has a very high literacy rate, which is around 95%. Next, let's fast forward to today's young generation. Vietnamese youth are super connected. Social media, fashion trends, technology, you name it. They are embracing global culture but still keep one foot rooted in their cultural identity. There's also a big interest in startups and innovation, especially in big cities. But even with all this modern energy, there is still a deep respect for tradition and family values.
Ethnic minority marginalization happens when a certain cultural or ethnic group are treated as less important in society. Vietnam officially recognizes 54 ethnic groups. These minority groups often live in places that are rich in tradition, but often left behind in development, which causing disadvantages in access to education, healthcare, and economic opportunities. For economic marginalization, ethnic minority communities in Vietnam often live with far greater poverty than the rest of the population. Despite the country's strong development progress, there are still many families that depend on small-scale farming just to survive. Educational disparities and language barriers, for many ethnic minority children in Vietnam, education is daily struggle. Vietnamese is the only language of instruction in public school or even in areas where children speak little or no Vietnamese at home. This language barrier results in lower school attendance and poorer academic performance among minority students. Marginalization is a reminder that equality isn't just about treating everyone the same, but it's about making no one is forgotten.
Corruption is when people in power, such as government official, police, or business leader, act dishonestly for personal gain. Corruption is a very significant problem in Vietnam, impacting all aspects of administration, education, and law enforcement. So this is the data of Vietnam corruption cases and economic growth. There are three types of corruption in Vietnam, which is bribery, embezzlement, and abuse of power. People taking or giving money to get special treatment or avoid rules. They stealing public money or company funds by using one's position to help family, friends, and business unfairly. It can happen in state-owned companies where large amounts of money are involved, in real estate where officials can give land or projects to certain people for money, in banking with illegal loans or misuse of funds, and the last one is in public service where people may have to pay bribes for things like license or permit. In this high-profile case, Nguyen Minh Hung, the CEO of VN Pharma, was convicted of importing fake cancer drugs. During the trial, there were allegations and public concern that the judicial process was being manipulated and that certain higher-level officials may have been protected due to connection. The case sparked public outrage and suspicions of deeper corruption within the legal system, although no formal charges were brought against top-tier officials. Vietnam's government, especially since 2016, have been cracking down on corruption. This campaign is often called Blazing Furnace. Many high-ranking officials and business people have been arrested, tried, and sent to prison.
What is phishing? Phishing is a type of online scam where criminals try to trick people into giving away sensitive information like passwords, credit card numbers, or personal details. So how phishing happens? Phishing happens when they do this by pretending to be a trustworthy source, such as a bank, government agency, or even a friend. Phishing often occurs through fake emails, messages, or websites that look very similar to the real ones. This fraudulent message might ask you to click on a link, download an attachment, or enter your personal information. Once we do, because the scammer can steal our information and use it for malicious purpose like identity theft or financial fraud. Vietnam ranked third in Southeast Asia for financial phishing attacks in the first half of 2024, according to a recent report by cybersecurity firm Kaspersky. According to the cybersecurity newly released report on cybersecurity threat in Vietnam in 2024, the organization detected over 4,100 phishing domains targeting users and customers of major Vietnamese organizations. So, what is Vita Cybersecurity? Vita Cybersecurity is a top cybersecurity company in Vietnam. It provides advanced service like threat detection, security monitoring, and vulnerability testing to protect business and government from cyber threats.
In conclusion, Vietnam is a country that stands at the crossroads of tradition and transformation. Its political system, as a one-party socialist republic, is tightly controlled by the Communist Party of Vietnam (CPV, which dominates all levels of governance from lawmaking to national leadership. While this centralized structure has provided political stability and clear direction, it also means that freedom of speech, political pluralism, and civil liberties remain limited. Socially, Vietnam presents a strong and unified cultural identity deeply influenced by Confucian values, Buddhist practices, and centuries of historical experience. The importance of family, respect for elders, and community harmony remain central, especially in rural areas. Education is highly valued, with the country achieving one of the highest literacy rates in Southeast Asia, and young people are encouraged to succeed academically. At the same time, the younger generation is increasingly exposed to global trends, digital technology, and new ways of thinking. This has led to a growing interest in entrepreneurship, innovation, and social change. Despite facing challenges such as economic inequality, environmental concerns, and limited political freedoms, Vietnam has shown remarkable resilience and adaptability. It continues to develop rapidly, striving to find a balance between preserving its cultural roots and embracing modern growth.